YouTube. What's good, your boy? Everything water, water is everything my familiar. I got for you guys an OG solar hunter build. Even though it got nerfed, this build is still good with the right mods. Armor mods with the right weapons and the right fragments. You can really take this build pretty far. But yeah, man, if y'all like this video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. It's your boy Everything Water. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the subscriptions. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna be going crazy. I'm trying to interact more with you guys. If you guys want me to stream too, I get that too. But let's get straight into this video. Starting this off, we're gonna be talking about the young Amarakara spines. This was my first build coming back to Destiny 2 that I made from like watching a YouTube video. So to see that this build that was once a good, really good, great build, exotic, now is it's good, it's decent, but now it's still good now. Basically what the young Amarakara does is it takes your trip mines and increases the duration, the blast radius, and you gain trip mine energy from after final blows. Before, you gain trip mine enemy just for people getting hit by it. You still do, thanks to grenade kickstart that you're gonna be using for one of your mods, and the mods impact induction. Like, those are gonna be the bread and butter that's gonna make this exotic a lot better, because without those weapon mods, armor mods, this exotic is not as good. Honestly, it's probably like a CB tier exotic without that. I don't want to talk down on it. I don't want to rant too much on this exotic because they nerfed it. But now let's get into the exotic weapon. Now for the exotic weapon, unlike our exotic armor that got a nerf, hand cannons got a pretty good buff, solar got a pretty good buff, and this weapon is S tier. Now the sunshot is such a good hand cannon. It might go down as one of the best hand cannons in the game. It's such a good hand cannon, man. The damage, the rate of fire, everything about, and it's a 150. So 150 RPM, and it just shreds. You shred enemies. It does not matter what yellow bar, red bar, you shred them with this exotic. If you do not have the sunshot, mandatory. If you're a beginner, get this sunshot. I promise you, it will save you. This is a really good, a must-have exotic. If you guys do not have this exotic, grab it. If you see Zer having it, grab it. No questions asked. This is a needed S tier exotic. This is probably one of the top 10 best guns in the game, honestly. All around, it's really good, really sharp. But yeah, now we're gonna get into the aspects, fragments, and abilities of this build. Let's get it. Okay, starting off with this build, we're going to be using Blade Barrage. It has the shortest cooldowns out of all your other supers, so I feel like it's best, and you also get it pretty quick too. For our ability, we're going to be using Gambler's Dodge. You want to be able to reload our knife trick, because that's the whole point of getting our grenade, which is going to be the trip mine, because that goes with the young Amarakara spines build. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be using. For our aspects, we're going to be using Knock 'em Down, and we're going to be using On Your Mark. Honestly, if you want to, you could use gunpowder gamble. Can't even speak today, but it takes away one slot from your fragments, and it's not really worth it to me. And you're gonna be creating a lot of ignitions, so I don't really feel like you need gunpowder gamble for this build. So yeah, so we're gonna be using On Your Mark and Knock 'em Down. Now going into our fragments, starting off, we're going to be using Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch enemies. Because of the new artifacts, we're going to be any enemy while you're radiant, if you're hitting them with a solar weapon, will become scorched. So that's really good now. So now every enemy you hit while you're radiant, because we're going to be radiant with one of the with our aspects and one of the fragments we're using here. So we're going to constantly be having radiant. So now enemies around us while using the sunshot is going to be scorched, have ignitions. You're going to get your ability dodge pretty quick. Also, we're going to be using Ember of Ashes. You apply more scorch targets to, scorch stacks to target. That basically means it's just more, we just add more scorch now. So now, like I said, with the now these scorch is going to stack up, which creates ignitions. So you're going to explode everything. It's really good. Also, we're going to be using Ember of Resolve. Because we're using the trip mine, we want to be able, with every kill, every final blow we have with the trip mine, we're going to be able to get some health back, because the trip mine does really good damage, and this right here is going to cure us. So we're going to be spamming that. It's not as good as it used to. Obviously, it got extremely nerfed. This build got nerfed, but it's still decent. Alright, we're also going to be using Ember of Wonders. Rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignition generates aura power. This is really good because with the Sunshot and with the Younger Marakara with the Trip Mines, and we're with our Night Trick, and because we're applying so much stacks with Ember of Ashes, everything's going to be having ignition. You're going to be creating a lot of auras for you to have, which is going to be able to get your super a lot faster and also reducing the cooldown for your super, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, last but not least, powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiance. This is really good because now with knock them down while your radiant final blows with your equipped throwing knife fully refunds your melee, so now you basically have infinite melee knife tricks as long as you create final blows, so that's cool. But yeah, that's it for the abilities, aspects, and the fragments. Now we're going to get into the artifacts, stats, and weapon and armor mods. Now for our artifacts, this is really important. Obviously the Season of the Wish is solar buff, so everything solar we're going to try and get. So Kindling Trigger, grab it. Flint Striker, grab it. Heart of Flame, grab it. Revitalizing Blast, grab it. Rays of Precision, grab it. Anything that just got to do with solar, go ahead and get it. No ifs and buts, especially Kindling Trigger, because that's the only way you're going to be making other enemies scorched by having radiant. Now going into our stats, you want to max out the 3 important things for this build will be resilience, discipline, and mobility. As you can see, even though my mobility is only at tier 4, that's pretty low. My gear really runs around like having high resilience and high discipline. If you can, I say have it anything over tier 4. If you can get it 5 or 6, that's really good. So yeah, those are the main things you want to have for this build for your stats. You always want to max out resilience because you're going to be doing because this build can still go into like harder end content, like anything higher than 1770 and stuff like that. It's still decent, still a really good build. And then, you know, max out discipline because, you know, we're going to be using Younger Marakara with the Trip Mine, so that's really going to be good. Now going into our mods, this are really important too. Please make sure you screenshot this and get it right, because your build might not be as strong as it is with these, especially on your arm. You need impact induction, you need grenade kickstart, and you need impact induction again. If you can get that, please get it. You need it twice. This is gonna help you gain your gain the Younger Marakara spines, the Trip Mines pretty quick, because without these, honestly, this build is not that good. Like you don't get your Trip Mines quick. It doesn't really do anything without these, so these are mandatory. Also, I got stacks on stacks. Picking up over power grants you 1 additional stack of armor charge, because we're using grenade kickstart. It's gonna be taking up a slot of the armor charge every time I pick up over power, and like I said, we're gonna be making a lot of orbs, so that's really good too. But yeah, you want to make sure you have this on your legs. Get what you want. When you're depending on what content you want to do, you want to make sure you have all these resilience mods and stuff like that. And then always make sure you have at least one solar. It's only like 1 slot, so that's pretty cool. Just to have 1 solar siphons. And I don't have any surges, so you know, weapon surges for here. So if you want to, you can take out for any of these. I'll say if you want to take out for Absolution, you could. But yeah, that's really it. And also make sure for your cloak, Powerful Attraction, Reaper, distribution. If you can't get distribution, make sure you get Reaper and Powerful Attraction, mandatory. But yeah, that's it for this build, man. This is a very OG build. This is, yeah, an OG meta build. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still solid. I really hate that they nerfed it to the ground, because now even with this solar buff, it's still not as good as it used to be. So that's a bummer. But hey, if y'all like this type of video, man, and you an OG solar like me, because this is my first build, by the way. First build. But yeah, this is where everything water, and water is everything, my familia. I'm out.